welcome back to Kirk Kooks. It is another Friday Night Fakeaway, and this week I'm going to do something that the kids have been asking me to do for a while. Not really something I eat a lot, but apparently they love them. It's Subway, and we're going to do the Meatball Marinara Sub. So I've had a look online, found a bit of a copycat recipe for that, tweaked it a little bit myself, had a little mess around with it, and I think it tastes pretty good. So we're going to give that a try today. First thing I need to do here is I've got some of these bake at home subs. These are Footlong ones. I'm just going to get these open and get these in the oven just to get these baked. They only want about 10 minutes. Then while they're doing, we can get on with the meatballs. These are a pretty good alternative to baking your own. You still get that nice fresh taste from them and the smell and everything. And it's a lot less messing around. I mean, I do like to bake bread, but not all the time. So, those are the baguettes we're using. These are going to be our Footlong subs. So I'm going to get these in the oven now. Give these about 10 minutes while we get on with some other stuff. So, one of the first things we need is some breadcrumbs. So, I've got here just a few pieces of bread that I've torn up. Just going to put these in the food processor. Give these a blend. And that's an easy way of making your own breadcrumbs. And just like that, breadcrumbs. So the next thing we want is an Italian herb mix added to these breadcrumbs. So we have got some oregano, I'm going to put about half a teaspoon of that in. Some parsley, same again, about half a teaspoon. All these are going to be half a teaspoon. Thyme, basil, rosemary, then a bit of garlic granules, bit of salt, and a bit of pepper. Now I'm just going to move this aside because we do actually need all of this for our marinara sauce later. So I'm just going to give this another whip round, get the herbs all mixed in with the breadcrumbs. Okay, so then we can take this, add this into a bowl. I'd say there's probably about the equivalent of a cup of breadcrumbs there. So next we want to finely chop half of an onion. Keep the other half because again, you're going to want that for your marinara sauce. So I'll just quickly chop this. So we can take that onion, add that into here. So for the meatballs, what you want is a pork and beef mixture. So here I've got 750 grams of beef and pork mince. It's already mixed together. If you can't buy it that way, you'd want like 375 pork, 375 beef. So I'm just going to add the mince into here. And then the final ingredient for the meatballs is 1 egg. This will just help really bind it and hold it all together. Okay, so then we want to give this a really good mix together now. It's probably best to use your hands. Then we can start making some meatballs out of all this. Like I say, easiest way to do is just get your hands in there and just really just squeeze all this together. Just really get all this just mixed together with your hands. Then once you've done that, you should be left with one giant meatball. So now we want to separate this up into lots of small meatballs. Just take a chunk, say about this sort of size. About that look. I will just weigh one of these, just to give you an idea of how much each one should weigh. So that is, call it 50 grams, so each meatball wants to be about 50 grams. So I'm going to get on with making a load of these. I'm going to pop these back in the bowl as they're done. And then we'll get on with cooking these and getting on with the marinara sauce. So that's the meatballs ready to be cooked. Before we start cooking those, make a start on the marinara sauce. I've got a pan here, tin of chopped tomatoes, Just going to add those into here. And take the other half of the onion we had earlier and just finely chop this. Now that's about half of that, that's about all I want. I don't want the full half of an onion, I only want the small onion, so about a quarter of this large onion should be fine. Just going to add this straight in. So next we want 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of parsley, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, about half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, quarter of a teaspoon of some chili powder, quarter of a teaspoon of caster sugar, and then you just want to take a blender and just get all that mixed together. Now that is ready to be heated up and cooked through. Just take my subs out, they're baked now. See, if you saw the colour they was when they went in, they come out and they're really nice and golden, and they do taste really fresh. These are a really good alternative to making your own baguettes and subs and stuff like that. So next thing we need to do is get this heating up. And I've got a pan to cook the meatballs in, just get some oil in this and get this heating up. Got a little drizzle of olive oil. We'll get that warming up so we can get these fried. And we'll get this on a nice low heat so it can start simmering. Just remember to keep giving the marinara sauce a quick stir so it doesn't burn. For the most part, just leave that to simmer. So then we want to take our meatballs, start dropping those in our pan. After about 5 to 10 minutes, we have some nice looking meatballs that are about ready to come off. I'm doing these in batches, so now I'm going to get the second batch on. Don't forget to keep your eye on your marinara sauce as well while your meatballs are cooking. We'll be wanting that soon. Cooking these in batches, once they look about similar, you can bring your second batch back. Keep them all together now. That's going to get these about another 5 minutes, then we can start adding the sauce. And then now these are ready, you can bring your marinara sauce in. Just get that all over these meatballs. There we go, just mix all this through, get the meatballs nice and covered in the sauce. Now we'll just give that about 5 minutes, just let all that get nice and tasty and let all the flavours blend in together. And then we'll be ready to put these on some subs. Okay, so that is the meatballs ready. Sauce is all ready. Subs are ready. Just need to give these a cut. So now let's get some meatballs and some cheese on this. Just want to take our meatball and just get those nicely lined up on here. Oh man, honestly this smells ridiculously good. It smells pretty amazing actually. And we'll just add a bit of extra sauce on there. Get some more of that marinara. And then just add a little bit of mature cheddar and mozzarella. So it's just a mixture of mozzarella and cheddar. Put a bit of that on there. And that is the first sub ready. These now want baking in the oven. Just going to do a couple more. Then I'll get these in the oven. So as you can see, the recipe we've used today gives you enough for 4 foot-long subs. Now we just need to get these baked in the oven for about 5 minutes and let all the cheese melt. Oh man, that smells absolutely amazing. It looked pretty good too. So there you have it, that is 4 Meatball Marinara Subs. And I think those do look pretty tasty, to be quite honest with you. I can't wait to get stuck into one of these. They look really good. Really good. So let's take this one. Let's try and cut into it. Oh man, look at that. That is going to be really good. Okay, so let's give this one that we've cut up a little try. It's really big. It's going to be difficult to eat this because of how fat it is, but we must definitely give it a go. Actually, those are some pretty amazing meatballs. Wow. Just, oh. Honestly, the flavours coming through in there, all that Italian seasoning and stuff we put in there, chopped onion. Oh man, that is really, really good. That is like ridiculously good. Actually, that is that is stupidly good. Can't wait to eat that full one now. I don't eat Subway very often, so I can't even really remember what a Meatball Marinara Subway sub tastes like compared to two. The kids really like Subway. I don't really eat it much. It was them who told me I should do a Subway fakeaway, so here we go. But yeah, that is ridiculous, honestly. I'll definitely be making this again in the future. Actually, I cannot believe how good that is. Wow. So there you go, a Meatball Marinara Sub. Could actually make this, get rid of the sub, serve it with some spaghetti, but you've got to have a really nice spaghetti and meatball dish, because those are really good meatballs. The sauce is really nice too. So yeah, I highly recommend giving this one a try. It's really good. I suppose one thing we could have done would have been to maybe just butter the subs a little bit and then just grill them on the griddle. That would have probably added a little bit more flavour. But it's something you could do if you try it at home. Just give the subs a light toasting. But that is going to be everything for today's episode, because I'm going to go. I'm going to get stuck into this because this is really good. We'll catch you next time. It is once again Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It's on Wednesday.
Michelangelo, what did we tell you about eating jelly bean and sausage pizzas before you go to sleep?
Strawberry surprise pizza with anchovy sauce.
Face it, bud. Peanut butter and clams is an acquired taste.
Anchovies and bananas.